Presenting fact. Welcome back to the channel. Emotions to the side. Hit that like and subscribe. All right. You already know what time it is, man. You know, we talk about Philadelphia 76 of basketball. If you've been following along, you know, I believe my last live stream was talking about, you know what I mean? It may not have been the last, maybe one prior to that. I can't remember. But yeah, talking about Jaylen Brown, that new addition of Jaylen Brown to the 76ers and how we fleeced the Celtics, right? Uh, I can't use that word. You know, we just great them, know what I mean? So we back now, right? And I told y'all in that live stream that y'all was going to be sick. You know, the whole NBA, the whole country going to be sick when LeBron pull up. And LeBron's here now. He's here now. The king has arrived. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was going to happen back then. And you know what I mean? Just get ready, man. It's our year. You know what I mean? Knicks, we're going to get them out the paint. They done for them young bulls. They get them out the way. They're before that, before we get into what I believe needs. So whatever. So whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let's go back 14 years, all right? 14 years, all right? I'm gonna go back 14 years. We're gonna talk about this trade right here, man. This trade right here is what's up, what the set the Sixers back a decade plus. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we at this point now in the process, right? We at this point a process where, man, we've been in a process, right? We at this point a process where, man, we've been in a process over a decade. This process over a decade. This is pre-process Philadelphia 76ers for you. This is pre-process Philadelphia 76ers for you. Good, you know, our star player was Andre Iguodala. AI was gone. You know what I'm saying? And I think we might have brought him back for like half a season or something around this time. Or no, that was actually a few years prior to this. But yeah, we had already AI came left and came back. But yeah, we had already AI came left and came back for a little bit. This is, Iguodala's the best player on the team. You know, we had Drew Holiday as part of this trade, as you can see here, Dwight Howard. This was this whoever else they had, and then he left, and then I think he signed with the Rockets. Them up because they the biggest star to give up. They gave up the White. Um, same. Listen, we sent Iguodala to Denver. Iguodala played 1 year in Denver, then he left and he went and signed with the Warriors. And I believe the Warriors had beat Denver in the playoffs that year prior to him signing with them. So this is just giving you a backstory on what's going down. Orlando somewhat came up because they did that we had, and of course other trade. I think they got some deep, but for most, I mean, I was supported all that. We ended up getting some picks, issues that we had, like this one right here. Is we ain't going. I can't get into everything, man, because our front offices has been so incompetent over the years. Uh, Speaking of front offices, man, nobody in the NBA better give Daryl Morey. If these guys can come in easy, well, Gansey ain't been here that long. He only been here about a month maybe. I mean, if that he come in here and he wheeling and dealing like this, he Daryl Morey can do was you know, man, I don't know, a Ben Simmons for a Harden and a Harden for a Paul George. It's like just Celtics fleeced us. You know what I mean? We got finessed because first off, the Sixers the number one pick. That's what all the mock drafts said. I don't know how they came to this conclusion. Looking back on these guys, man, you looking back on their careers, like how? He played good for Washington, man, but come on, man. Yeah, man, he out there in Washington. Get out of here, man. Anyway, they wanted talking like, oh well, let's bring him in. He's going to be one of the star players and something like that. I don't know what the f these dudes was thinking when they picked that dude. You know what I'm saying? But here's the kicker, right? Boston already knew they was going to get Tatum. Boston had the third. No, Boston had the first pick, right? We had the third pick. Boston already knew they was going to get Tatum. Boston. I mean, I don't know what's going on now. We really want faults. Yeah, Boston's like, all right, yeah, well, here we could take the first round pick, and we'll take the third pick, and you just give us the first round pick. And these dudes just went for it, man. They gave him another pick, move up 2 slots, and pick up one of the biggest busts of all time. I never liked Markel Fultz, bro. Like a lot of people give him like a pass for some all this weird stuff, man. I seen that dude when he came wait for summer league because he ain't want to come here. He ain't never. And he sabotaged Philly. A lot of people don't like Philly, man. So what I mean. That's what makes this LeBron James signing like somewhat so historical because Sixers typically don't sign people. Here's the thing: Sixers have a history of signing old, washed-up players, right? And I guess people can say the same thing about LeBron, right? They're gonna say he washed like he used to be. And all that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to say he's washed up because the brother still he puts points on the fucking board, bro. He puts points on the board. He get assists. He get boards. Like he makes the team better. I mean, facilitate. Look, we gonna get into all that. We'll get into all that. We ain't gonna go there. But the thing with LeBron is this time with the Sixers. This time we didn't get fleeced. The Sixers typically sign a washed the last max contract they can get. We be the only team to offer it to him. You know what I'm saying? We the only team offered Tobias Harris a max contract. I mean, this type of front office we talk about. But no, at a discount, like a super crazy, super discount. We got him for 4 mil, 3.9 mil a year. He gonna come in here for 3.9 mil. He just put up what 21. Something it is, man. But this right here set us back. Because we brought this knucklehead Fulton, this trade and that selection of Markel Fultz back because we were on an up and up, right? We had another first round pick. You know what I mean? We were on an up and up. If anything, we could have just picked Markel Fultz at 3, right? We could have just had him at 3, and we wouldn't have lost another first round pick. You know what I mean? That's at the end. Could have just picked him. They wanted Lonzo Ball. You know what I mean? So we just got finessed there, and it is what it is, man. It's a little soon to get here, but I don't want to make this a super long live stream. My battery about to die anyway. But before we get here, man, of course I could talk about so much things. We could talk about that one year when we had Jimmy Butler and all this other stuff, and when we went to the second round and all that, man. Those are the biggest issues I just pointed out right there. We always had a meeting. It was never enough. Ben Simmons, we all know he was a punk. He wouldn't shoot. You know what I'm saying? So you had more people that had a bigger issue with Ben Simmons. My thing with Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons actually played. You know what I mean? Your boy Markel Fultz was playing games. You know what I'm saying? Played games. Embiid be playing games sometimes, right? You know what I'm saying? We gonna get in Embiid. You know what I mean? But like I said, man. Let's just get into this Jaylen Brown trade. Now, you see what we did in 2017 with the Celtics. This time around, Celtics, I don't know what was on their mind. They get rid of him for, hey, we got him for Paul George, man. We trade somebody who's barely putting up 20 points on the board. I think he might average 17 points a game. And we bring in somebody who puts up 20 years younger. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is the ultimate finesse. Like I said, we owed Boston one. We owed y'all. You took one of your star players. Now we coming for New York. All right. Coming for New York, coming for y'all head, and I dare y'all to come down here and be trying to put hands and feet. Since LeBron showed up, we already seen ticket prices have quadrupled. Some predicaments, and your average filled up or next year or however long Brian's going to be in town. All right, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So understand that we're going to have a lot of these people that's going to be coming from out of town. New Yorkers, probably, most likely New Yorkers. They're the ones that can afford these ticket prices, right? They're going to be the ones filling up these arenas. So it's going to be an issue come playoff time because you already know ticket prices are going to inflate even more come playoff time. They already talking $100. So we talk about nose for a preseason game that LeBron's probably not even going to play in. It's $300. Where last year that same game was what, $30? So yeah, this is what we're talking about. Um, Understand we ain't really going to be able to represent like that in these games because I don't know what kind of people they're going to have these games. You already know the folks is going to be in there heavy, and as long as they in there supporting Sixers, I don't give a f. You know what I mean? But if you're going to have these New Yorks coming in here on that funny style stuff that they be doing, like I said, we might have to put hands and feet on them. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to have to be. You know what I mean? So don't take it as a threat. I mean, let's get into the Sixers, man. We got Jaylen Brown, all right? And as you know, what is this? What's this right here? Oh, yeah. I was talking about Ben Simmons, man. Ben Simmons, man. I skipped over him. But yeah, at one point, when he started acting like a fool, he wanted to sit the whole season and all that, man. All these things set us back over the. You know what I mean? Let's get into where we at now, man. We're going to talk about LeBron. We got LeBron in. This is what the new 76ers game plan needs to be. And I hope people in the front office listening, they probably won't. You know what I'm saying? Of course, ain't nobody listening to me. Ain't nobody care about no Philadelphia 76ers, right? But this is what it is, right? For the fans, this is what it is, right? This is what's going to have to happen. LeBron's going to have to take a back seat. And I think LeBron's cool with that at this point. He know he's on to a stacked team. He's 42 or whatever. He going to take a back seat. He cool with that. All we need LeBron to do is be the facilitator. I say LeBron needs to be running a rock. When he's on the floor, he needs to be running a 100% of the time. Yes, we can let Maxey push the point sometimes too, but Maxey's more of a scorer. He's more of a two guard, to be honest. He's just small. So that's why he can play, he plays both positions. We tend to put him at the point guard, but he's a shoot first, score first type point guard. But he plays very well off the ball. He's good at catch and shoot. He's good giving boosts. He's good cutting to the basket, all that. So we're going to have LeBron push the rock, all right? He's going to be facilitating. Hopefully we can get his assist averages up to double digits. He never put up, double-digit assists for us. You know what I'm saying? Another person that's going to need to take the backseat is the one who's going to need to take the biggest backseat of all is Joel Embiid. All right, and Joel Embiid is the only person I can see having a little issue. It's going to be an issue that's going to raise. Mark my words. It's going to be an issue that's going to pop up sometime during the season. I don't know at what point, but sometime during the season, if he is consistently playing, right, he's going to start complaining because what needs that he needs to get less time with the. We need Joel to be at this point, bro, especially when he's in the lineup or we got our starting five in there. All we need you to do, Joel Embiid, is get under the basket. No more camping out at the line. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while you game on and all that, but for the most part, I say at least something to do. Get rebounds, let LeBron down, okay? You know what I mean? Just kick the ball and you can jog up the court. Whatever, take your time and all that. If they're gonna set a play up for you, or if they're gonna slow it down, wait for you, nigga, get under the basket. That's it. That's all you need to do. Set a screen, get under the basket. No more dribbling and doing all, no more ISOs, no more ISO Joel Embiid. That's done. No more ISO Joel. You know what I mean? Like I said, every once in a while, issue with Joel Embiid, right? And here's been the issue with the Sixers for the last. It's been a long time, right? It's been a long time with Joel Embiid. Here's the problem, and the older he's gotten. But the problem is that when he's on the floor, he only plays about half the season on average. I'll say he plays about 40 games, and that's it, right? So 40 games when he's playing, he's the focal point. You know what I mean? We play a slower style of ball. You know what I mean? And he has to get his touches. He has to put up almost 30 points a game, and he's got to be the star. But those other 40 games in the season when he's not even, when he doesn't even shoot up and play, these young bulls is out there running that rock. They playing transition ball, a lot of fast breaks, a lot of highlights, and you know what I mean. It's run and go, and Joel can't handle that. So what I'm saying is they're gonna have to stick to that. We can't have so many different attributes, and we got to focus on Joel. Hopefully, he don't got something in his contract where he has to get certain amount of touches or whatever. As long as he's able to look past that and get over that, we all right. But like I said, he a crybaby ass dude. So, just look out for him to have an issue. To be completely honest, we seen AD was in town 2 days ago when LeBron signed his contract, or when they announced it. I'll say that when they announced LeBron signing, y'all know AD was in Villanova, right? And I don't got the picture for that, but yeah, AD was in Villanova. They say he's over Villanova with some coaches from the Washington Wizards or whatever who have a connection from Villanova. They came from Villanova, whatever. They over there filming something. I'm like, hey, this is a weird coincidence, man. And I'm gonna keep it real, man. Joel Embiid, man. To be honest, he's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest fan, but he's cool, right? Or whatever. He's definitely talented, right? I would love for him to get a chip here. The chip's coming, right? Whether it's not this year, it's gonna be next year. It's coming. He gonna be on some funny style stuff, and LeBron feel like, hey, we try and win here, man. Let's bring in AD, and we can do a swap for Embiid and AD. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that would maybe stop is if Embiid, I mean not Embiid, but AD signs a crazy contract with Washington that we would have to take on that maybe I might not dig in the long run. That might be the only, that I would consider for not pulling the trigger on such a move like that. But man, if it ain't that situation, I say get rid of Embiid, man. We bring in AD. Like I said, man, hey, Embiid, we want you to win, man, but you want to be a team player. You ain't gonna get more touches. Everything gonna go down. The only thing that needs to go up for your stats is rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Rebounds and potentially assists. That's all we're gonna need from Embiid. Because we got LeBron that's gonna be pushing the rock, that's gonna be bulldozing to the lane, dishing it out, doing all kinds of stuff. We got Maxey that's running and gunning, shooting. And here's the thing. Here's another thing I want to get at. I want to get with Jaylen Brown, right? Jaylen Brown needs to be the number one scorer. He needs to be the priority. He needs to be the focal point. All right. Of course, everybody can get touches. Everybody should be able to get enough chances to score. But Brown needs to be the number one option. He needs to be the star. He's the player on the team. He's more talented. He's bigger than Max. Maxey's good. Brown's better. All right. It's better than LeBron. LeBron, had to take a comeback. He old. Jaylen Brown's going to have to be the number one scorer. He's going to have to be putting up more points than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So understand that. Jaylen Brown is number one. Unfortunately, Edge, but as long as Edge can play his role, be a young buck, I think he's capable of just playing his role. I don't think he got much ego. He come from real humble beginning in the Caribbean or whatever where he's from. Yo, we back, man. We back, man. They messing with my connection, man. So we gonna have to wrap this up in a few minutes, man. But like I was saying, I'm not sure when exactly the connection got lost. But from what I know, what I was saying is we gonna need Jaylen Brown to be the focal point. Jaylen Brown has to be the number one player. We're going to need Embiid to take a super major step back and fall back and just play the background, bro. Get your rebounds. You know what I'm saying? That's all we want. You know what I mean? Rebounds and assists should be going up. Everything else probably go down. Points, minutes, all that. You know what I mean? We got Brian doing what he going to do. We got Maxey is going to do what he going to do. Edge going to go and just learn. He a young buck. He going to soak it all in. Here's the thing about it. If we can win 2 chips with LeBron James, which I think we can do, to be honest, I ain't really tripping off if we do. Goes to a new team, he need 2 years. That's what it's always shown. But we stacked this year. I mean, we should be able to win it, but it's the Sixers. You know what I mean? So ain't no telling. I will say this though: we have the potential to win third. That even after LeBron to open up a big, opportunity for dynasty right here. That's what we're looking at. We already got people trying to jump on the bandwagon I think what we just signed, Katavious Caldwell Pope. Not a big fan of China, but it is what it is, man. We're gonna probably get a couple other guys like that. I see, Dwight Howard jumping all D. We don't want Dwight Howard. He a funny ball. We don't really. I don't think we want energy up in the locker room. You know what I mean? That kind of energy that comes with Dwight Howard. I don't think we really need that. I think that's part of the reason why we got rid of McCain, because I think your boy McCain, he has similar energy with him. To be honest, I mean, look, I ain't even gonna get in that. We ain't gonna get in that basketball. We're gonna win this chip this year. All we need to do is do it like I said. Make Brown be the focal point. Brown got a chip on his shoulder. He gonna come through and be balling this year. Cause you know what I'm saying? Cause of what happened. Trust me, he gonna come through and he might be MVP this year. If we do it right, let him be the focal point. Maxey can be the next up. Maxey can be the, you know what I'm saying? And then you got LeBron he going to fill the stat sheet up. You know what I mean? He going to fill the stat sheet up, the way he do. And bro, just get your rebounds, bro. That's all we need from you now. You don't need to do no you don't need to do no Euro steps. You don't just go under the board, jump up and grab a rebound and then pass it. You see what I'm saying? Jog down the floor. Okay, if ain't nobody put a shot up by the time you get down there getting a post and look for the rebound. That's all we need from you, Joel Embiid. And I hope you can be a team player. Just play your role. All right? That's going to be the biggest issue. If you're a Sixer fan, if you watch any games, you know what I'm talking about. Because we can't have it where when Joel's playing, he's the main, scorer or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we got to slow the pace down for Joel Embiid. And then half the other season, he ain't going to be there and we playing a whole different style of ball. That's breaking continuity. That's what's been killing us as a team for years now. All right, so now we got all these different players. Joel Embiid doesn't have to be the best player. He doesn't have to put up all the points. He doesn't have to play all the minutes. We don't need him to win these games now. Just play your role. That's all you got to do, Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? So, look out for us this year. New York, we coming for your neck. They top. For the next 2-3 years, man, Philly running the rock, man. We got it. Y'all mad. All you old niggas, man. Old teaks. I don't want to hear nothing. A lot of flopping going on. Be mad. Be mad. I ain't a big fan of flopping either, man, but we got Embiid and Bron now. So just be ready for that. Just be ready for that and understand, man, we knocking free throws down and all that. So it's a wrap for all y'all. If SGA can flop all year around and and he can get MVPs and win chips, we can do the same thing. We can get chips too. All right. So just understand it is what it is, man. Y'all mad, and I'ma holler at y'all on the next one. It is what it is.